Okay, we're in Siman Kufman Beis. This is the dinam of, we're up to now the dinam of Sudas Purim. That's Sif Hay. It says as follows. Chayavim lecha v'lishtais u'esmeach b'Purim. On Purim there's a din that you have to eat and be happy. Gam b'leil yadalid, also the night of Purim, in other words, means after the reading of the Megillah, is Yismach v'yabik sas v'suda. You should be happy and make a suda. Ukeshachal b'metzoy Shabbos. If Purim came out on Sunday, so now the problem is this: it came out on Sunday, and Shabbos you ate a shal shudas, and not according to Bava Sheminig. By shal shudas you wash, and you eat a regular meal. Our minig yotze would mean a paydas, but after tzarach lasses the Shabbos to the shlishi, even though Shabbos you have to make the third meal, the afternoon, is yomai ketzas b'achila chasa b'yayim. So make a little bit less in the shal shudas than what you normally have on a regular shal shudas. Rite mokem l'sudas leil Purim, in order that you should be able to eat leil Purim. Really, the over here you have to understand this. You have to make every Shabbos you have shal shudas, and then after that you eat Rav Malka. So what's the chiddush over here? The chiddush is that there's many people that to Rav Malka they eat less. They ate a regular shal shudas, so Rav Malka they eat less. So, but he's saying over here that you should try to make a suda. And have a suda after suda is going to be a little bit difficult. However, the suda shows some belaylo and yotzin yidei chavasim. There is a chiyuv to make a suda on Purim. That suda that we have a chiyuv on Purim is the suda during the day and not what we eat at night. The ikar suda mitzvah shetahei b'yayim. The main part of the suda has to be during the day, because the ksiv is shaitan posik yemei mishnah v'simcha. The middle, so yemei means during the day. V'yesh hadik neides derech simcha v'yantiv gam kishoisim asuda b'yayim. He says that the suda that we make during the day, you should light candles. V'gam b'leil tezvov tzarech l'smoyach tzas. Now, what about the suda that you made the night before? You know, the suda that you made after Megillah when you came home. Do you have to light candles or not? So that I refer you back to Siman Kufman Maluf. In Siman Kufman Maluf he says that where is it? Siv Dalid. He says over here that Kishiyava, when he comes home, sits over here. Kishiyava in Beis HaKnesses, Yimtze v'Beisei Neides Dolkos, B'Shulchan Aruch. So even though he doesn't mention it over here, but it says already there, the Indian of Ner is mitzat simcha. That's why also by a bris we light candles. You light candles by a bris also state because it's Indian of simcha. That's a different thing. So he says over here, so this he talks about the suda. Then he says, "Gam matanas avyainim monas v'le'eyu tzarech l'shreya tzarech liyas b'yayim." In other words, not the night before. And even there's sometimes people that send by mail, let's say, and if it arrives before, so you may be not yotze with it because it has to be on Purim day. If you could put a note to Moshe on the package, not to open till Purim day, it would be a different story. But
when he sent it out, he sent it out before the chiyuv of Shalach when he came. He can't send it 3 days.
So the question is, I once spoke about this already. What is the inyan b'shkoyach monos?
Receiving or
if it's an inyan to lahal b'sreyus, to add friendship, or it's an inyan to help the person with the suda. So if it's lahal b'sreyus, so it's on Purim we want to do that. If it's for the suda, it's about the good. If we'll eat it up before Purim, then you didn't accomplish anything. So that's why he's saying that what he wants to say over here in this part is that the matanos of yonim and shloach monos should be during the day by Purim. Shum the tridi b'mishloach monos, being that people are busy with sending the packages, oisem mixa suda balayva. That means to say that they drag the suda into the night on Purim. But even though they do that, but you have to start the suda during the day. We go according to the Aschola when the suda started. Umispal mincha b'ydayem gadol. So mainly you daven mincha when it's early. V'oisen as a suda lacha mincha, and you make the suda after mincha. Ushrichul lasis akaponim roiv hasuda bayayim. But even if you drag the suda into the evening, shouldn't be the main part of the suda. But what's the inyan of dragging the suda into the evening? L'chayra, our Purim is the 14th day. The 15th day is Shushan Purim. So what's the inyan of dragging it into Shushan? So they say the inyan is because we have a klal that who celebrates Shushan Purim, the one a year that's Mukaf Chaim from the day Yeshua Menun. Which do we have any sudas today? Any places today that are Mukaf Chaim Yeshua Menun? Yes, it's Yerushalayim, the old city of Yerushalayim, not the new city. The old city of Yerushalayim has a wall around it. Mimosh Yeshua Menun. So B'meila, one of the reasons why we drag the Suda into the evening is to be mishtatev, to be misamer together with the Yisraelim the Yidden.
But they don't get the Suda to the next day.
That's right, yeah, but still, we're this way we're reuniting together with them.
So Shushan Abira is not from Shushan?
No, Shushan Abira was not, Shushan Abira wasn't a walled city.
In the time Yeshua so
no,
the people in Shushan
no, it wasn't
Abira,
it wasn't part of Rosh
So the
Hashanah.
people in Shushan themselves still make it on the 14th?
15th.
The people in Shushan could be, that's a different story. They're an exception, but every other city,
I think they do it on the 15th.
yeah, but every other city,
The nest happened the 15th of the month.
that's where the nest took place. Ukeshachal be'erev Shabbos. Now, if Purim comes out on Erev Shabbos, oisim oisa b'shachas mipnei kavod haShabbos. There was once a whole thing by Verbrengen that the Rebbe spoke about Peiris Mapu Makadesh. Peiris Mapu Makadesh means that if you started a Suda Friday afternoon and it comes the time for Shabbos, so you have to make Kiddush in the middle of the Suda. It's called Peiris Mapu. You cover the Challah and you make Kiddush. So some used to fizach that also by Purim, if it came up Purim on Erev Shabbos, so they would start the Suda in the afternoon as regular time, and in the middle, there would be Peiris Mapu Makadesh. He's saying over here that that's not preferable. Preferable is, when it comes to Erev Shabbos, to make it early and to finish it before Shabbos. Now he says another thing over here is, that before you start the Suda, you should learn some Divrei Torah. What's the inyan behind this? He says, "V'smach l'dava." What gives us this idea? What do we rely on by saying this? Because the pasuk says, "La Yehuda Moisa Oida," and "V'dashina and Oida Zutaida." So and it can sign that Purim people are very busy with Mishleach Mon. It's like you said before, Matoya, they don't have time to learn. So maybe the whole day will pass without learning. So we want to make a zikara for everything that's possible. So therefore it says you learn some Torah before you start the Suda. Yesh, some say, sheyesh lechol min zarayim b'Purim, that you should eat kind of beans like seeds in Purim. Zeich l'zarayim she'ocha Daniel v'chaveda b'Bavel. Daniel, when he was captured by Nebuchadnezzar's people, so he didn't eat their food. So what could he eat that was kosher? He ate zarayim, he ate like vegetables, things that grew from the ground. There's no shag on it. And zeicha l'zarayim she'ocha Esther. By Esther shtedechad, by Shaneha, it's not a sel l'toiv, that they made a different diet for them. So the Gemara said that they ate zarayim, they didn't want to eat the food that was there. The Isa Gemara and by Shaneha, that's not a sel l'toiv, she'chila zarayim. Now, there are other minhagim about what to eat during the Suda. First of all, the minhag is l'chatchila to eat 2 Sudas on Purim. To one Suda you eat before Chatzos, and then you eat the other Suda later on towards evening. Especially now that Mitzvah Shem Motzei Shabbos will be moving the clock, it's already going to be a long day, Purim. So if you eat the one before Chatzos will be about 1 o'clock, and the other Suda you'll start about 6 o'clock, so it fits, to have 2 Sudas. There is a shayla in halacha if you have to wash and eat bread by Sudas Purim. Some want to say that you don't. There is an opinion that you don't. But the accepted opinion is that you wash, and this way, if you wash, you bench also. And when you bench, you could also say ala nisim. So it fits in more to wash to the Suda of Purim. But if, let's say, you didn't wash, according to some opinion, you yaitze the Suda of Purim. We also have a minhag by the Suda of Purim that we eat some of the minhag that they eat meat, not chicken. Why meat? Because meat is a thing that's mesameach. When you eat a chicken is light, and meat is heavy. So basal shomer, what they call like fatty meat. So that's more simchadik. Today, Marshal, when you go to a dinner, Marshal, and they make a festive a banquet, and they make a meal, usually the main dish is not chicken. The main dish usually is meat. Some they serve what they call roast beef, I think it is. Some like it rare, and some like it well baked. You have to they slices, big slices of meat, and the people after they ate that they feel heavy. They feel simple. So that's why some say shiva. However, if a Moshe, let's say someone has, I think that, if I remember correctly, I think they said the Alter Rebbe used to eat chicken Friday night because it was easier to digest. So if it's people that have digestive problems, they could be yaitze with eating chicken instead of eating meat. But if you could eat meat, it's better to eat meat. We also have a minhag by the Sudas Purim to eat what they call krepchen. Kreplach or krepchen is different. What is krepchen? Krepchen is when they make a soup, and in the soup they take pieces of dough, And between the piece of dough, they put in a little bit of chopped meat. And they cook it. And remember, they serve a soup with the krepchen in it. Now, interesting thing is, there's the Welt sagt a simmen. The Welt sagt a simmen. When espen krepchen, when do you eat krepchen? So the Welt says, wenn mishrokt. Wenn mishrokt espen krepchen. What's when mishrokt? Mishrokt means when you hit. What does it mean when you hit to eat krepchen? So, because Erev Yom Kippur, by the Suda, in the morning, up in geschrogen kaporas. They were hitting kaporas. So therefore, there's a minig, Erev Yom Kippur, by the Sudam of Sekas, to eat krepchen. Hashana Rabbah, in the morning, by davening, up in geschrogen Hashainis, and geklapte Shainis. So b'meila, so they eat krepchen. By Purim, you geklapt hamen. Whenever they mentioned the Megillah hamen, everyone was banging by hamen. So you eat krepchen. That's a simon to remember. If you don't remember when you're supposed to eat krepchen, when you think that maybe I don't know, some other day is Shavuos, you have to eat krepchen. The simon is these 3 times. The question is, what is the idea of eating krepchen these 3 times? What's the idea behind it? So, I once saw, if you look in the Marza, from the Lubavitcher Marza for Rosh Hashanah, the Rebbe brings in the Menhogim over there, in the back of the Marza, he brings a Tama Pikabola. What's the Indian of krepchen? It's I don't remember it, and I don't know if I can explain it. But the Rebbe brings over there, in the Marza, in a footnote, he brings it. But there's a simple reason why we eat krepchen. As I said, krepchen is meat that's covered with dough. In other words, you hide the meat. What's the inyan of hiding the meat? The inyan is, because usually on Yantif, we have 2 things. On Yantif is also ben melacha, except Eichel Nefesh, but otherwise you're not allowed to work on Yantif. And we eat meat, mitzad, v'samachta b'chagecha. These 3 days, Erev Yom Kippur, and Hoshana Rabbah, and Purim, Alpidin, Amuta b'melacha. We'll learn later that you should try to avoid working, but there's no Issa Melacha on Purim, there's no Issa Melacha on Erev Yom Kippur, and there's no Issa Melacha on Hoshana Rabbah. So, it's a Yontif. Erev Yom Kippur is a big Yontif. Hoshana Rabbah is a big Yontif. People daven a whole day Hoshana Rabbah with the Yontif Dika daven. We don't do it, but by Satma, they have a Seder Avodah a whole year. They come home right before Shmini Atzeres. The whole day they're davening. And Purim is Yom Kippurim. It's a big Yontif. So you're not allowed. So if it's a big Yontif, so you should eat meat, right? But because it's mutar b'melacha, therefore it's not like Yontif. So what do? We take the meat and we hide the meat. So this way you ate meat and it's hidden. So that's why on these 3 days the minig is to eat krepchen. There's also another minig that I saw. You don't see it here in Crown Heights, but I heard in Borough Park, in Bava, it's a popular thing. They make a food on Purim that's called a tegel. It looks like little balls of flour with a lot of honey, and the honey, you see it sometimes in the store. The honey glues it all together. You get very sticky eating it. And we call it teglach. And what's the meaning of a tegel? So they say that is because Haman said, Yesh nayam echad. That's mefuzul, mefayred, that this connected one with another. So therefore we eat after such a thing that's closely tied together, that on Purim by the Suda. That's minhagim that different kilas have. The krepchen is in Lubavitch. It's done. Tegach, I didn't see in Lubavitch, but I remember seeing by Gumbo that he had also in the window sum it up. Some people buy it and they eat it. Main thing, enjoy your suda.
I always thought that was tzapicha de dvash. I always thought that was.
Yeah.